Hi, welcome to I Love Internet Marketing with me, Anna Johnson. Now, you've probably heard the saying, do what you love and the money will follow. But is that really true? Well, it can be, but here's the problem. Some people love lying on a beach. Some people love watching movies, playing video games, and doing all kinds of things that don't necessarily translate into money. And no, I'm not talking about people who necessarily want to turn any of these activities into professions like writing reviews or being a film critic or being a travel writer. I'm just talking about people who just love, lying on a beach and doing nothing else. So if if doing what you love and the money will follow doesn't really hold true, what can we say about the relationship between pursuing a career or building a business based on a love or a passion? Well, while do what you love and the money will follow may not be universally true, I do think the following statement is generally true, and that is, love what you do and the money will follow. In other words, if you're passionate about what you do, you're likely to do it very well, which should result in a good income. Again, that is a generalization, but the point is not everything can be turned into a business. But if you've found a business that you enjoy, then you'll probably make more money from it than otherwise. Here's another important distinction. It's the distinction between loving the product or service you're selling and loving the business of selling that product or service. Now, this distinction really sorts out those of us who are better off being professionals working for others and those of us who really thrive as business owners. In fact, unless you love running a business for its own sake, I don't think you should go into business. At the very least, you should only go into business with someone who does love business for its own sake. And in that case, you want to make sure that your role in such a business is making or delivering the product or service rather than running the operations of the business. But for the most part, you'll probably be happier pursuing your profession without necessarily running a business, because it's likely that what others would be passionate about you'll regard as the headaches of running a business. So in this case, you might be okay being a freelancer, a contractor, or a consultant, since the administrative side of those things may not be too arduous. But the point is, you probably won't enjoy being in a position where you have to work on the business rather than being in it. And for that reason, business probably isn't for you. But what if you love running a business, but you don't have any particular passion for the product or service that you're selling? Well, I'm the first one to say that I personally do need to be passionate about both. But at the same time, I do know of plenty of people who love the business but don't necessarily love the product or service that they're selling. And it's probably the case that as long as you do love the business, especially things like marketing, you may not need to love the widget that you're selling. At the same time, I suspect that what is true in both cases is valuing the customer and loving the customer. In fact, a famous saying by Jay Abraham, the marketing guru, is that you shouldn't fall in love with your product or service, you should fall in love with your customer. And if you do love your customer, then it's likely that you'll be successful in business. In any case, when it comes to what you do day to day, you're most likely to be successful and make that money if it's not necessarily doing what you love, but loving what you do. So that's it for this week's podcast, short and sweet, but I hope that it resonated with you. Bye for now, and I'll speak to you in the next edition of I Love Internet Marketing.